What's up, everybody? Welcome to the 611. It's your boy, Ryan Howard, again with my man, Young James J.
Yes,
Roll.
sir.
Man, we got another great episode. Bro, you know what? We just gonna get right up into it real quick,
Let's
you
do it.
know?
Let's do it.
Let's talk about these call-ups, bro. Can we talk
Yes,
about that
let's.
for a second? First,
Yes, yes. We should.
how long were you in the minor leagues for?
Oof. I want to say 4.5 full seasons. Drafted in '96.
Okay.
Got the first call up in 2000. So I did rookie ball in '96. '97 was the full season A.
Hmm.
'98 was Clearwater. '99 was Reading, Scranton. 2000 was Scranton Big League. So yeah, I don't really count the rookie balls. That was like 30 or 40 games, whatever it was. So four and a
Hmm.
half seasons. So I don't know. I mean, a lot of at bats. How about that? A lot of at bats. Over
Okay.
2000, I believe. Yeah, a lot of at
Okay.
bats. So what about you, Rob? How long did it take you to get to the big leagues?
Man, so I want to say it was about 3.5 years. I want to say I was in minor leagues or whatnot. So, because
Which is
I
which is
started out
funny, which is
oh
almost
01.
like an express. It's almost like the express train back then when we were coming up.
Yeah,
3 years was no
yeah.
time.
Well, because I was drafted in '01 and then started out New York Penn League, short season. And then the following season went to Lakewood, New Jersey, Sally League, long season A. Um, then the following year after that, Clearwater, high A, Reading the year after that. And then after the year in Reading in '04, I got that September call up.
Right.
So I was up there for that month. And then AAA, started out AAA in '05. Tommy got hurt. Um, got called up for 2 weeks, went back down when he came back. And then like another month later or whatnot, he got hurt and was out for the rest of the season, and I was up the rest of the year. And then that was it. So I mean, I was able to do some damage in the minor leagues.
Yeah, oh yeah, you did some damage. But these kids today is and look and I appreciate how they're putting emphasis on the youth getting in the game early.
Hmm.
Especially with free agency, you still have to go, so deep into your career before you become a free agent. Something that's also changed. They're giving these kids money 2 and 3 years into their career, which is something I'm also happy with. I think it's security versus top end. Yeah, you're
Hmm.
getting some security. You have 1 or 2 good seasons. They want to save some money, but as a player, that's especially when you're young. Yeah, you're going to take that security. You're going to take 150, $200 million. You may be sacrificing what looks to be a sacrifice, and it's hard to say that when you're getting hundreds of millions of dollars. But hey, you're setting up the rest of your life, and if you go out there and you have 3 or 4 good seasons, you're going to get an extension anyway. But anyhow,
Hmm.
that's going deeper off the end. But the fact that in today's game, we can look at guys, Paul Skenes, for example,
Hmm.
12 minor league games and 34 innings. I
Yeah.
think it's the right call. Why?
Yeah.
The man has proved what he can do in college. He went to the minor leagues, ran through that. Why waste his innings down in the minor leagues? You're not going to get any better,
Right.
to becoming a big league player. You're not going to get any closer to becoming a big league player by facing minor league hitters. Period.
Right.
That's just what it is. So I'm glad that they're making that. But let me get your take. I've been talking too much.
Oh no,
Let me
bro.
get your take on
Look.
some of these guys.
Look, I mean, bro, I agree with you wholeheartedly with Paul Skenes. Sometimes, hey, in a draft, you get that dude that's just that Rick James super freak, bro.
Right.
And all of a sudden, it's one of those things to where it's like, okay, this dude does not need to be down here. Like he can come down and get his reps. You can work on certain things, but he's pretty much polished, right?
Yeah.
He's pretty much polished, and that he's going to be. It's not. He's not going to be down here very long. You know, his stuff is plus plus stuff. So, like you say, why waste it? The other thing, kind of going back to the very beginning, is guys are coming in at a much younger age. Where I think we were told, guys' peaks was between 29 to 32,
Correct.
and I remember
Yep.
thinking to myself, like, why? My bro, I could roll out of bed at 2021. You don't
Exactly.
feel a
Don't even need
thing.
the stretch.
You
Don't even
don't
need
even
the
need to
stretch.
stretch.
Just
You
just
just go
just put on
straight.
my uniform and go out there
Yeah, just go straight from the parking lot and play the
with a
game.
with a peanut butter and peanut butter and jam sandwich. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like straight
Belt
up.
half undone. That's it.
Ah,
Yeah.
there you
So
go.
I think it's one of those things now where it's like, okay, they got hip to the game to where it's like, hey, these kids are all coming in at a younger age because you can get more output. Now you got to let them figure out how to play and be big leaguers, how to
Correct.
play the game at the big league level.
Correct.
Um, some of the development, they may lack in some of the development in certain stages, but like if they can go up there and they can figure it out where they have the tools, again, Paul Skenes is in a whole class by himself.
Correct. But we have other guys,
But we
for
have
sure.
other guys. Jacob
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 Wilson,
Wilson. Now we know his pedigree. We know where that DNA.
right.
We've seen that from his pops, Jack. You know what I mean? So it's that apple don't fall too far off the tree. But I mean, my man is coming up and he's just putting bat to ball and
Right, right.
just balling. But
And why
again,
and it goes to the thing, why waste that? Let these
why?
guys learn how to be big league players in the big leagues. And I think that's what has changed. Obviously, we could go to the training, the way the kids are
Yeah.
training on the way up. Is very specific movements
Hmm.
to what they're trying to accomplish as opposed to back in the day where it was, see the ball, hit the ball, use spring training to get in shape. Um, don't, stay healthy in your off season. Don't do anything stupid. Now their off season is full of training, specific
Hmm.
training on strength, on mobility, on agility, the science behind what we're trying to do at the plate, the science of how to throw the ball as a pitcher. All these things, the more we're learning, it's advancing these kids at a younger age. So with that being the
Hmm.
case, it makes even more sense to bring these kids up and teach them how to be big leaguers in the big leagues because there's only one way to be a big league player. There's only one way to learn how to conduct yourself, how to deal with pressure in the big leagues, and that's in the big leagues. We've seen it.
Right.
Guys who are in the minor leagues destroy it,
Hmm.
and they'll come up you know, at an older age because they feel that they're mature enough but haven't handled that pressure. Maybe if you
Right.
expose that to them when they were younger, maybe they would have had a better chance of doing it.
Hmm.
You can always make cases both ways, but I like the fact.
Well,
See Mo, he's up in the big leagues. I see he got his
yeah.
first hit, a triple against the Yankees.
Yep.
Hometown boy tripling against his hometown team. Come on now, it doesn't get better than that. Some of these
No,
things that you dream of are happening, and like I said, it's the emphasis on why waste the time. And there has to be a position open. We know that, but
we
if the
do know that.
position
Yeah.
is open, these guys are coming out of college, which is equivalent in many ways equivalent to the 3 years you're going to get in the minor leagues. Yes, you're
Hmm.
going to have, especially if you're going to a top program. You're going to a top program. You're playing against the best kids in this country. These guys have been tested. They're going to face these guys in the minor leagues with a couple new guys that are going, especially the international guys.
Hmm.
They're going to face those as pitchers and hitters. But for the most part, you're facing guys that you've played against since you were kids, through
Hmm.
college, and now in the minor leagues. So get them up to the big leagues.
Yeah. I mean, look, bro. You look at Roman Anthony. You look at Marcelo Mayer. Like, bro, it's like you said. Why waste it? Like you look at for example, right? Our boy Byron Buxton. Like
Hmm.
when Big Bucks came up, like he scuffled, he struggled a little
Just a
bit,
raw,
right?
raw
Just
little
yeah,
young
just
kid.
raw. He
Yep.
was raw. And you brought him up, you had to see what you could do, and then you sent him back down, let him work on some things, and then and he's gonna dominate at AAA. He's gonna
Hmm.
dominate. So that's why you brought him up in the first place. Now you bring him back up. You gotta let him scuffle, you gotta let him struggle a little bit and figure it out. You gotta
Yep.
give guys opportunities because we've all had success. Every ball player that's in the big leagues has had success at every level they've ever played. The biggest thing is when you can get to the big leagues, struggle, and then figure it out, bro. That's what it's all about. So when these guys are able to come, one, they're bigger, stronger, faster. Each generation is getting bigger, stronger, faster because as you mentioned, the training is completely different, all the way down to high school, hell, all the way down to junior high.
Right.
Bro, they're starting them in middle school, fifth grade. Like it's starting that to where the schools, these colleges, these Power Five programs, all these programs are putting so much more emphasis into the nutrition aspect, into the training aspect. Like
Hmm.
even when, I didn't have that when I was coming to school. Like we worked out, but we didn't have like the type of workouts and the nutrition and all that focus. We didn't have that
100%.
when we were playing. You know, the teams, the teams have invested now. The organizations have invested
Yes.
in
Yep.
the well-being. I say overall well-being because now these teams have strength coaches, they have the trainers, they have massage people, they have
Mental
mental
coaches,
coaches, they have
psychiatrists. Yeah.
nutritionists, they have these guys lack for nothing.
Nothing.
They lack for nothing. So they're given every single opportunity to go out here and try to succeed. And these guys are taking full advantage of it. So when
For
you
sure.
see a Jack Caglione, that dude is a monster, first and foremost,
Mm-hmm.
bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just absolute beast. And he's only played 79 minor league games. Bro, that's like a spring training.
Right. For real.
It's
For
basically like
real.
spring training, bro.
For
Like
real.
you're going down there, but like you said, if he can have an impact, or you can get that guy in there and get him started to where he can be a part of the culture of the team, and he gets his feet wet, and he's like, okay, now I understand what it is. You know, the lights are a little bit brighter. You know, got a couple
Yep.
more O's in the bankroll, a couple more commas in the bankroll, but the game is the same, bro. You
Yeah,
still
it
got to
really
hit the ball,
is.
you got to
Yep.
catch the ball, throw the ball. It's the same.
Yep.
And that's what I tell guys all the time. It's like the game is the same. Still got to hit it, catch it, throw it. I mean, more people in the stands, lights are a little brighter, more commas in the bank account. That's it.
That's a fact. And also by getting them up there early,
Mm.
you give them time to fail and figure out how to be a big league ball player, where I need to make the adjustments, how to go about conducting myself. Because and it's messed up when a guy gets called up and he's older, for example, and he doesn't take off right away. He
Hmm.
knows his window is limited.
Yeah.
He's already been in the minor leagues for a long time, and I need to come up and make an impact right away. I don't get a chance to struggle necessarily like this young prospect or this younger kid that has more youth on his side.
Hmm.
So by giving him that time, as you said with Bucks, bring him up. He struggles a little bit. Send him down. Let him get his confidence back and bring him back up. Jackson Holiday was another one. Came up, struggled for a second, sent him back down, brought him back up. He was able to be Jackson, giving these guys a chance to figure it out. But it's big to have the time to be able to figure out. We know, and we'd be remiss if we didn't, say how these teams play the clock game when they want to
Hmm.
get a guy's clock started, which was always the dumbest thing to me. What do you mean
Yeah.
get my clock started? You want me in the big leagues to help you win. That clock should
Right.
start ASAP. As soon as you feel I'm ready, as soon as I feel I'm ready, not, well, we're not sure where we want to go. Let's not start this guy's clock because we don't have to pay him. Do you want to win or not? It's
Right.
period. Do you want to win or not? If you want to win, you get the guys up that you drafted to say, this is going to be the guy to help us, bring a championship trophy home. If not, what's the point? Quit playing with these guys.
Right. But let me ask you a question too, Jay. How
Yeah.
much more comfortable, right? Who was there when you first came up? Who was shortstop?
Desi Relaford.
Desi, right? Okay, and I know Desi, Desi kind of took you aside, kind of
Yep.
helped you and gave you to. But when they told you, all right, Jimmy, the job is yours. How, as the young guy, right? How much more confidence do you get? Like you said, now you know
Right.
that when you show up to the field, when you go home from the field, when you rest, everything you do is in prep. Like, okay, I'm that dude. I'm in there tomorrow.
Right.
Like
Right.
I remember when I got the call and after in '05 in the off season, and they had told me like, oh, hey, my agent had called me. Bro, I was literally, you remember the D now, my white
Yeah.
truck I used to
Yeah.
have.
Yeah.
Bro, I'm back at the house. Bro, I was at the car wash and I get the call from my agent and he was like, hey, Ryan, like, yeah, they just traded Jim Tomey, so it looks like, first base is gonna be yours next year. And I was like, all right, cool. Hey
Best
bro,
car
let's
wash you
go
ever
ahead.
had in your
Let's
life.
let's let's go ahead and upgrade to that platinum.
You know what I'm saying? Can we get the shine on the rims?
Yeah, don't skip on the rims. But my mindset like instantly changed, like going into spring training, your prep, everything. Like you still have that competitive nature and the mentality of what you're gonna do prep wise, but in the back of your mind, it's like, okay, Now it's mine. Now I can kind of, relax a little bit
Take a deep breath
and
and
just
take it
just
all
take a deep
in.
breath.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you go out there and play. So I think when you get that with these guys, as you mentioned, the younger versus the older player, like these guys can get in there now knowing like, okay, I have the room to make mistakes and
Hmm.
not play like I have to look over my shoulder, like, oh, they're going to sit me down.
Correct.
Like,
Yep.
especially when the investments that these teams have made in these guys, obviously being a lot of them, being first rounders, but they're going to make sure, like, hey, we want you to come up here and be able to succeed. If you struggle and we need to send you down and maybe work on a couple things, then you can do that. But you're at some point you're going to be coming back up. But I got to say, too, like the impact that these guys are having on their teams as they're coming up. So it's like
Yep.
it's not like the hey, I'm the rookie and like these guys are coming up and actually making an impact. It's a breath of fresh air. It's a punch of a burst of energy coming out with these guys
Hmm.
because the way that these
Hmm.
guys are all coming out the gates, it's just horses out the starting block, just
All right.
gone because these guys are coming in and they're announcing their presence with authority.
When that window open, kick that thing down. Don't open it. Kick it.
Yeah, keep
Kick,
doing it.
kick it out
Keep
the
doing it.
frame. Kick
That's
it out the
right.
frame. Kick it
That's
out the
right.
frame.
Keep doing it, young bucks. Keep doing it.
All right, Pete. So I want to talk about something that's happening in a great Northwest.
Mm-hmm.
There's a young man by the name of Cal Raleigh
Mm-hmm.
who was threatening Mr. Judge for the home run lead. Not only that,
Mm.
let's not stop. Let's not just leave it there. He's a
Mm-hmm.
catcher.
That don't usually happen.
No, he has to handle the staff. He has to squat down every single pitch for the course of a game. And you're looking at hundreds of pitches, usually about 90 to 100 from the starter. And then you have relief pitchers. Games go extra innings, and although they've sped it up, those are still times you have to be down in that squat position, calling the game, stand in tune to what's happening, throwing out runners, and being really kind of the most complete player on the field. Not necessarily the most athletic. I still think that's me, the shortstop, but the
Hmm.
most
Oh
complete
God.
player on the field. Don't hate it. It is what it is. And catching, but not only is he that, he's almost like a throwback in the sense that in today's game, catchers have seemingly been allowed to hit 100, 140,
Hmm.
200 as long as you handled the staff. If you handled the staff, you did your job. And I know that wasn't always the case. And, we could look at some of the greats, and it's always easy to call out the greats, right?
Right.
But just overall, a catcher had to be more than just a defensive player. And yes, it's a defensive position. It's demanding to make sure you stay in tune with the pitch. That's your number one job. But you still get up, still get at bats with runners in scoring position. You still have to drive in runs when counted. You still have to play the game right way on the offensive side. You're not necessarily counted on a score on a ball in a gap, but if you can, it's a plus.
I think that the first thing we have to look at is obviously the game has changed, obviously, since we came out because
Hmm.
the emphasis was in a lot of different places. They were in different places from when we played to where they are today, right?
Hmm.
We came up in the era of home runs, RBIs, batting average, and
For
um,
sure.
those were kind of the key things, right? So as we exited, batting average started to kind of dip a little bit. Obviously, shifts were playing a factor.
Hmm.
Lived through that. Uh, but
And
no,
you said
but
as soon
but
as you
but
retire, they're going to outlaw it. And
Oh
sure enough, they
yeah,
made it
I knew at
illegal.
some
You
point.
called it.
I,
You
well, I
called it.
knew.
You
Well,
called it.
yeah, I knew at some point they were going to have to because I thought it was kind of like taking the product of the game down because you had your superstars that were starting to struggle. So batting averages had obviously gone down across the board. The emphasis in the training is a lot different than what we had, where
Hmm.
launch angle and everything, spin rates, all that kind of stuff. Exit velo has been more of the focus in today's game. Now that being said, you look at him, he's hitting about 260 right now.
Hmm.
26 homers, 57 RBI, and 260 plate appearances. And as you said, the most important thing, one of the biggest emphasis in today's game is defense, right?
Hmm.
So as you said, it's handling the pitching staff. What he's doing at the plate is the cherry on top. I'm sure that they would say, "Hey, we love what you're doing." Like, but the emphasis for him, the more important thing is how he can go out there, go handle that staff to keep that other team. You can go out there, go hit a home run for us, and get us some runs, and we can win the game. Man, by all means, please do. But I think with what he's doing currently, um, especially in an era where you don't see that as much from catchers.
Correct.
Obviously, like you said, we had the greats, you had Piazza. I mean, you look at Yachty Molina. I would say Yachty was probably, Yachty, Pudge. Hey, I'll even go out and say my man, our boy Chooch.
Chooch, Jay Kendall.
Yeah, like Jay Kendall, like those guys were gonna go out. Those were guys that you knew they knew how to handle a pitching staff,
Hmm.
but then they also knew how to handle the bat.
Russ Martin, another one. Yeah.
But what Riley's doing right now is fun to watch. And like you said, yeah, he's going to be an all-star. Hopefully, we'll see him participate in the home run derby. I think guys that lead the league in home runs should participate in the home run derby. Um, Everybody has their thoughts, their opinions on that. Um, but if you don't want to be in the home run derby, don't lead the league in home runs. You know?
And just to bring another comparison, yes, yes, we understand home run derby champ. We hear you. We hear you,
Yeah.
Mr. 58 and 64, whatever many you hit in a 3 year span. But just looking at Cal as just to give our listeners something to compare. When we say he's more of a throwback, when I say throwback, meaning throwback to us, we're looking at
Mhm.
the 80s and the early, I mean the 90s and the early 2000s.
Right.
Those 2 decades when catchers were expected, in my opinion, were expected to be offensive contributors and hit for average and be able to drive in
Hmm.
guys. Catcher's usually a big guy. And
Hmm.
you see a big guy, you want them to hit for some power. Other than that, it's not like it's a waste of size. But at the same time, big size was needed behind on plate because guys were able to run catches over then also. So you needed somebody
Right.
back there that can defend the plate. But looking at averages, as I want to go by decade, in the 70s, the average across the board was 248. Cal's at 269, almost at 270 in that range, or 260 range, shall I say. In the 80s, it was 247, not much difference. But then you get to the
Hmm.
90s and 2000s, and you have a gain of 256 to 258. That's nearly 10 points on average. Now, that may not seem like a lot, but when you
Hmm.
put that 10 more points, with runners in scoring position coming from a catcher position and adding power, that adds up. And if you're not a guy that bats in the middle of the lineup like the catchers we spoke about, they did bat in the middle of the lineup. They were expected to get hits and to drive in runs, which is why I think the average reflected that, and they hit for power. He could have played in that era. Right now, he's
Yeah.
outshining the guys in this era with the home runs and also with the average. And I know there isn't much emphasis on average, but he's definitely
Right.
slugging. I'm not sure if he walks. He's not a guy that necessarily want to walk. He's not going to score on the ball in the gap, but he's definitely doing his part in the slug department. So I like to point that out in what he's doing. Uh, Not only leading the staff, but he's actually contributing on the offensive side and with power, which is something that hasn't been seen in a long time from a catcher's position. So Kyle, great job. All star you're going
Great
to be
job.
this year. If not, we got to go talk to the people. It just wouldn't make sense. You have a catcher doing this, it wouldn't make sense. That's all I'm saying.
Cal, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw this out there for you, bro. I'm looking at this stat line that we have here, and I see 7 stolen bases in there. Okay.
Oh, hold
I'm gonna
on,
give you,
Ryan. Hold
I'm
on.
gonna give
How many?
you,
How many did you
I'm
have?
gonna,
What was your highest season average, Ryan?
I had like nine, I had like 9 or 10. I had
Oh, I
nine or
think he
10.
got you. I think he
So,
got you.
so Cal, oh, he's gonna get me for sure. That's why I'm throwing this out there. I'm gonna say, Cal, I do think that you're a guy that can score on a ball in the gap. Okay. These 7 stolen bases, somebody who was speed challenged, I guess, if you will.
Hmm.
It's debatable, but I get the freight train going, and there was only one way to stop, and it could be a nasty wreck at home plate. But Cal, I see you got the 7 stolen bases, sir, and I believe that you can be that guy that will score on a ball from the gap. So prove my man Young James wrong. Let's
Prove me
score on a
wrong.
ball from the
I
gap
would love to see
because
it.
I
I would
because
love to
I
see
see
it.
I see these 7 stolen bases, and I'm gonna give it to him. I'm gonna give it to him. Especially, you
So
always
you're saying
get,
he getting
tight
double digits is
cast.
what you're saying. He's getting double digits.
He's gonna get double digits. He's gonna
Oh, I
get double
bet.
digits. Yeah, he's
I
gonna get
want to
that
see
on
it.
accident.
You
He's
know,
gonna get that on
I love to
accident.
see it. I love to see it. I love to see it.
As we talk about speed, young James, we need to
Uh
talk
huh.
about our boy Denzel Clark.
Ooh.
What he's doing, the catches that he has made. Um,
In a month's time. I mean, just in a month's time. His last month has been crazy.
yes, his last
Crazy.
month like every time it's like almost like every time he's making a catch, it's like play of the year.
Right.
He's putting himself up there for play of the year. In my comparison, and I'm gonna just throw it out there. I think you might be thinking the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Is Mr. Torrey Hunter?
Oof.
I mean, he's going back there. He's grabbing stuff, um, in the fashion that he's doing. He's taking away hopes and dreams out there. Okay,
Right.
young James
Right.
just snatching them, snatching them. Like you sitting there thinking, like, oh man, that's a homer. Oh man, that's a double. For me, I'm thinking, oh, that's a triple.
I
You
see.
know,
There you go.
and
There.
it's
See, you had me at
but
double. You had me at double.
but it's like a good spades hand, bro. It's like it's two and a possible right there.
No,
So
let's. Matter of fact, with that being
anyway,
said, let's just take a look. Let's just take a look at what he's done, and we're going to start this first clip with the play that he made in Toronto. Let that go. Spider
yeah,
Man.
that's just yeah,
Timeout.
that's not called
Timeout.
far. I
Now
mean,
look. Now I know that they've lowered the fences in Toronto. I
mhm,
know. Those fences used to be high, but the way he climbed that fence,
mm,
I would say he has some experience doing this. Ryan. He's probably that kid that he's probably that kid that when you race, when you used to race home and there was a fence on the way home, he knew how
mhm,
to hit it with one foot, be over the top and down
yep,
on the other side.
yep,
And you knew that if you race him, you better have to learn how to climb that wall because he knows how to climb that wall. So whatever he did in his
right,
youth has definitely contributed to his fence climbing ability. Now, as I said, I know they lowered that fence, but I don't think it has made a difference for him. And
no,
I've seen this a number of times. I go to YouTube and I watch home run robberies. And I've seen the Japanese players do this all the time. They get back to the fence, climb the
mhm,
wall, and just hang out, just wait for the ball to come down. And he has done that.
yeah,
He's perfected it, and that is a beautiful thing. And as you said, that was a dream to a nightmare right there. Because I'm too little personally to have those balls taken back. I'm not hitting them that way, more
right,
than 3 feet over the fence. I need the speed of that center fielder
mhm.
to be lacking or to get a bad jump. But when Denzel is out there, you want him on that wall. You
Oh yeah,
need him
oh yeah,
on that wall.
on that, yes sir.
So I mean, that's where we start. We starting right there. Just a dream to a nightmare.
I just want to say when you watch him go back. How smooth it is, right? And for all
Yeah.
the kids that are watching and watching his route, the kids that are playing center field, like you watch how he finds the ball and then he looks and finds the wall. Always got to know
Hmm.
where the warning track is. There's no panic on there at all. And he knows it's like he had it timed out perfectly to where it's like, boom, get to the wall, get up, snag it, bring it right back. So, I mean, that's a great start. But what he does against Baltimore,
Oh.
let's roll the clip. Let's
Oh.
see what he does against Baltimore over here. Oh yeah, yeah. That's like you said. You want him on that wall. You need him on the wall. Like
Man.
that right there. That takes me back to Roro's catch, Aaron Rollins' catch when in Philly when he ran face first into the
Yep.
rail.
Yep.
And that is just completely selling out, like
Just
making
the
the play.
sacrifice that you know
Yeah,
you're going to hit that wall,
yeah.
and there's not much protection. And I don't know if anyone has actually tried to run into a wall where there's a fence, but especially
Hmm.
an MLB wall. It's padded per
Right,
se. When you hit that
right.
wall, it does not feel padded at all.
Hmm.
It does not feel padded at all. I'm sure. I mean, all of us grew up watching WWE, WWF. Yeah, that floor is padded. But when you're going into a
Right.
full speed, oh, you're gonna feel that thing. And guess what? That wall is going to win. So he put himself in position to make the sacrifice for greatness.
Hmm.
Denzel, tip my hat to you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Mm. Let's let this one roll. This is one. I mean, I don't know what's more impressive. You know, we saw the one in
Mm,
Toronto.
right.
We've seen the one in Sac. But then we go to Anaheim.
Mm,
Maybe it's just the latest and greatest. Maybe it's just the latest and greatest. It's too hard to categorize these. And this is three. This is two. This is one. Maybe it's just with him. It's just the latest and greatest. You know, we just have to wait and see what's next. But let's let the clip roll.
okay. That's uncalled for. That is just uncalled for. I mean, that's instant, like almost like a almost it's like a bro, he didn't even look to find a wall.
Spider Man, bro. The instincts kicked in. The instincts. It's just the Spidey instincts. Just
The hitter, look at the hitter. His
yeah,
body language says it all.
yeah.
It
No
says
doubt
it
about it.
all.
He can't even believe it.
It
Just
right.
heartbroken.
He's
I
like, I gotta
mean,
walk home now. I gotta walk home
I did
after the
everything
game.
perfect, mom, and I couldn't beat that man. I could not beat that man. I
Yeah.
just couldn't do it. And that one there. I mean, just every time I see a play like that where a guy goes up over the wall, um, it reminds me of Gary Matthews Jr. just going back on
Yes.
Mike
Yeah.
Lamb and just turning around, and
Yes.
it's pure athleticism. He knows
Yep.
where he is. He knows where the wall is. He knows where the ball is going to be, and then you go for it. There's no hesitation. There's no panic. You go for it, and he went for it.
Yeah.
He's 3 for 3. I mean, you talking about catch of the year. Which one? Which one?
Right.
Which one? Catch it. Which one is the catch of the year? That's the thing. It's not is it? It's just which one. Any, meeny,
Right.
miny, mo.
Hey, right now my front runner, I gotta go with the catch in Anaheim.
Oof,
Because
that was
the
I
way, because he
know.
went all the way over behind the wall, like
Twisting, pulled it all the way
twisted, yeah,
back.
pulled it all the way back, all the way back. And then the fun part is there's gonna be more to come.
If I'm the hitter, I'm like, where's the guy in center field that's supposed to be behind the wall pulling his glove off when he does
Hmm.
that? That's
Right.
all I'm saying. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Where's the rally monkey that's supposed to be on center field taking his glove off when he goes back like that? Where you at, rally monkey?
You stupid. Yeah, stupid. Yeah, bro.
As we go for that, I have a question for you,
It's,
Ryan.
oh
As
yeah, yeah,
we
yeah, yeah.
approach the as we approach the home run derby, we like to
Uh-oh.
call this our banana boat ritual segment. Not everybody has an opportunity to participate, first of all, in an all-star game, let alone a home run derby and win the home
Hmm.
run derby. You had a chance to win and then defend. So what is your preparation, if any, different? And I'm sure it starts long before the home run derby. You're taking batting practice, leading up to it as this half is coming to an end. Let us know what it's like mentally for you, how you prepare yourself, how do you visualize, and then the moment you step into that box, and it's the MLB
Mm.
All Star Home Run Derby.
So my first home run derby in '06 was my first full season. And I remember sitting in the meeting where they had all the participants and they were going over the rules of the home run derby. Now this was back before they started doing like the 3 minute, like,
Hmm.
the 3 minute clock. We had the 10 outs, right?
Right.
So
Which is every ball that didn't leave the yard was an out.
I remember we were having a meeting, and I just remember Lance Berkman, because I guess Berkman had been in a home run derby before or whatever. This is my first ever All-Star game. And he
Hmm.
was just like, he told the whole group, he's like, hey guys, like, the first thing you're going to do is you want to go out there and you want to swing at every single pitch. He's like, take your time, get some pitches in between, this, that, and the third. Berkman goes up there and swings at the first seven pitches. We were like, bro. We were like, bro, he just told us to like chill. But I will say this, because you know me, like I took batting practice. I didn't hit home runs in batting practice.
No, you have to wait on your bat and hit singles to left field.
But I will say, because I think I was like either in the lead for home runs or like tied for home runs, the lead of home
Hmm.
runs or something. I think I was in the top or whatever that year. So I felt the obligation of having grown up, watching like, the idols of the past, the stars of the past, the McGuires, the Griffeys, um, all those guys like that were leading, like participating in the home run derby. And so I was like, all right, I kind of felt obligated. I was like, man, I'm gonna go out here, go have some fun. So
Hmm.
in getting into it, I remember people coming to me, the media in Philly was like, Brian, like you don't hit home runs in batting practice. Like, are you gonna be okay to
I'm not media. I was
get?
one of them. I'm like, I don't know how
Yeah,
this is going to
yeah,
work
you
out
were
because
one
I've
of them.
never
You're
seen
like,
them
is
do
he?
it.
It's
I've
like,
never seen them do
yeah,
it.
it's like, yeah, and it's like I'd done a couple home run derbies like when I was younger, so it's like I know
Mm.
what to do. And then watching Bobby the year before, like if you really stopped and looked at, to me, it didn't look like Bobby changed his swing.
At all.
And where
Oh, 05 in
and what
Detroit.
I was my whole process was because I know everybody was worried like, oh, it's gonna ruin his swing. I was like, I'm not gonna change my swing. Like my natural
Hmm.
swing is just gonna do what it does. And
Right.
so I just even when I was taking my batting practice for home run derby, all I did was just add a little extra juice to it. Just all right, boom, let me just get this, let me get this. Because the biggest thing when you get into a home run derby is once you get that first one out, all the pressure's off.
Got it. You're not blanked. You're right. You're not
Yeah,
blanked.
you don't want
Yeah.
to get that goose egg. So then you can kind of settle in. I would go and do my same type of batting practice and just get the swing. Because for me, it was always about just getting the feel of my swing. And if I had the ball, whether the ball left or not, if I had the right trajectory off the bat,
Hmm.
then I knew once the adrenaline kicked in, like it was going to go off the wall or over the wall. So I would just add a little more extra pop to it, and then occasionally like during the home run derby, I would go down and go, take some swings, just kind of stay loose. But for me, it was always about grooving my swing so that I can get the ball to come off the bat the way that I wanted to without changing my swing. So I wasn't really trying to uppercut. I was still trying to swing and hit through the ball and get that backspin.
Is there anything that you learned about yourself or maybe even your swing in the home run derby? Because from the outside looking in, like hitting batting practice and in the same group with you every day,
Mhm.
you may pull three balls out of 30 swings. Maybe. And in the home run derby, for the first time, all of us that have seen you take, 1,000 swings, you were actually launching balls to right field like a
Mhm.
left-handed hitter. Like you hit the balls
Right.
to left field, like a right-handed hitter. We've seen that, but we rarely see
Mhm.
you hit the ball to right field without top spin. But although it ends up in the
Right.
third deck, it was rare to see you hit a ball to right field with backspin. But in a home run derby, you did a lot of that.
I think that was the biggest thing was the home run derby kind of took that and added it because early on in the year, my home runs were all, like you said, kind of right center all the way over to left to the left
Hmm.
field foul pole. And at that time, um, I don't know, it just unleashed something. It unleashed something in me getting to the ball and pulling the ball and hitting the ball to right field down the right field line. And then that second half, it opened that up for me as well. So now I was
Hmm.
pretty much going foul pole to foul pole,
Right.
hitting balls out. So again, it wasn't anything I was doing to try to change my swing. For me, the home run derby actually helped in the second half because for whatever reason I got it turned on to where it was pulling my hands in even more on balls in and now pulling the ball with backspin to the right side.
There you have it. The home run derby ritual with my man Ryan Howard. But we're not letting you get out of it yet because th- this is your area of the
Mm,
ballpark, and that is the long ball, the Ding Dong Johnson. If there were guys that would be your dream, I guess we'll use the word your dream, home run derby
mm,
contestants for this season,
mm.
who would be included in that? We have the usuals, Polar Bear. We know he's done it. He's won. Last year we had Alec Bone, who hopefully I think he learned something about it. Bobby Witt, who was a finalist
Yep.
also. I mean, there were guys. Soto participated, but who are guys that maybe have not participated? that you would like to see participate in home run derby?
I mean, man, it's the usual suspects. I mean, you want to see the big name guys getting out there doing big game type things. I mean, yeah, you'd love to get out there, go see Bryce.
But he's hurt. He's hurt right now.
He's hurt, yeah.
Yep.
Schwartz.
Yep. For sure.
Schwartz is he's fun to watch, man.
Yeah,
Like
he
he's fun
is.
to watch it. I mean, I think you put Schwarber out there, you put Judge out there,
Oof.
you put Otani out there,
Ooh, nasty.
Garcia. You can put Muncy out there.
Hmm.
Muncy will get out there. He'll
Yep.
grind it out.
Cal,
Um,
obviously, Cal Raleigh. He's got to be one of them.
yep, you got to put him in there.
What about Acuna? Acuna, the way he
Acuna would put on a show.
another guy that's a sleeper to me that you may not consider is Soler. Like he has light tower power.
Oh, bro, I was thinking about him or like or like Robert.
Yes,
Like, dude, you put those two head to head.
they can stretch. Yeah, because it's
Yes,
exciting.
yeah.
Like you have a special ability to drive the ball out the yard, and sometimes it
Hmm.
doesn't always show up in games. And yes, that's a big part of it. But for the theater of it all, guys that
Right.
can literally just stretch. They can hit the ball second deck at will, dead center at
Hmm.
will, oppo just to have fun. I think those are guys that should be in and definitely would make it a lot more fun.
Well, those it's about putting on a show. So when you can have people that can bring that entertainment element to it, like you said, like a Cunha, right? Or potentially like Soto. Like when you get up there, you can get the antics after, right? And the showmanship after. That's what you want. That's what it's all about. It's about
Hmm.
guys going up there having fun, but you're putting on a show for the fans. And
100%.
that's what it really all comes down to.
Peace. I think, man. I think that's a wrap for today, brother. I mean,
Yes, sir.
you're in Paris. I don't know what time it
Mm.
is over there. It's probably wine o'clock as you
I
sip
think
on
yes.
a fine bottle of vino.
Got a nice little Bordeaux.
Well, you know what? They have Bordeaux here in Atlanta too.
Mm.
You're not special, partner.
I
You
mean,
special.
it's just, but it
Let me
is.
rephrase that. You are special, but I'm saying drinking a Bordeaux is not special.
I mean, it just hits. It hits different. It
Maybe in
hits different
Paris
on
it's
the home
special, but
on
I'm
the
just saying.
soil. It just hits different on the soil. Yeah, it's just got a little different appeal.
Touche, my brother. Touche. Well,
Yeah, we done touched it all today.
we appreciate our fans always for tuning in to
Yes,
the
sir.
611. Comment, tag, post, follow, continue to support us, and give us recommendations, things you'd like to see us talk about. Quick hit subjects. We can jump on and do some special shows. Maybe find some special guests. Let us know who you want to see.
Yeah, let us know what you want.
Let us
Let us
know.
know what you want.
Thanks for joining us again on the 611 podcast. Till next time, peace.